Hello. Today I would like to address myself to you if you are over 50, you are looking at retirement, or you are looking at starting a business, or you just have this nagging anxiety about the future. If you are one of those people, this video is for you because I have been there. First of all, I am hearing repeatedly people saying, I am too old to start something new. And I am also too old to be employed. If you are unemployed, say you have been retrenched. Again, this video is for you. I'm Linda. I am a lawyer. I'm a former teacher. I worked very, very closely with Nelson Mandela when I was a young lawyer. I am now a coach. I also offer mentorship. Above all, I now write books, whether it is source books for my coaching programs or just a book that is going to be launched within the next future. So, just stay with me, particularly if you have these anxieties and you are over 50, because let me tell you, time is nothing, age is nothing. What is important is that as from today onwards, after watching this video, tell yourself that it is your time to shine. It is your time to be wealthy. It is your time to reignite your new self. Stay with me. Having said that, I am going to be focusing on 4 things in this video. It's going to be the important aspect when it comes to having the right mind. That's the first thing. Secondly, I'm going to touch on values. Thirdly, I am going to be addressing you, the self. And then finally, I'll wrap up with relationships. So, just the 4 aspects. Stay with me. If I talk about the right mind, it's because the mind is very cunning. It's strange. However, it is you. It is I, because we have been conditioned to listen to messages and thoughts that are not us. However, we think that those thoughts are who we are. So I am suggesting that it is important that you realize that you are not your thoughts. You are everything that is powerful, beautiful, capable of anything, as long as you take action. So, be very careful. Accept that what comes from your mind by way of thoughts, it's not you. Do not entertain thoughts that don't serve you. Simply treat them as an unwelcome guest. Don't open that door. Very, very important. It's also important because when we entertain negative thoughts, for example, they also make us feel negative. If we entertain doubtful, fearful thoughts, thoughts of anxiety, they affect our state, our feelings. We become uncomfortable. We become doubtful when it comes to taking action. We hold back. So, it is important that we realize that if the feelings are not you, they are not true. I am saying that feelings that are genuine are feelings that inspire, that free you, because they then talk to you, your real self. Secondly, values. Very, very important. Very important because our behavior, our habits are informed very much by what we value. If we value pleasing people because we are insecure, we need to begin to consider, do these values serve us? If we value the shiny things of life, even if they don't serve us, even if they plunge us into difficulties, those values, do they serve us? What do we say about them? In short, I am challenging you to confront your values or the values that do not serve you. It is important that you sit quietly and jot down what you value. Jot down what you do not value. It is important. Know yourself. Know these values that no longer serve you. They may be artificial values. They may be values that were passed on to you by your family, your parents, your friends, your community, the education that is limiting. But it's important that quietly, when you are on your own, when you no longer listen to anybody, jot down what you value as you yourself. Let's move on to the self. Do you know who you are? Do you know yourself when it is no longer what you are told you are, when it is no longer what your partner, your spouse, your husband, your family, your children say you are? Who are you? Do you know who you are? It's going to be very important if, for instance, you are going to take yourself to the next level, to know yourself. And that is why the values are important. What you value, your thoughts, these thoughts that do not serve you are going to help you to understand who you are as yourself. In addition to that, it may not always be possible for you to get to the bottom of this realization, and that is why I will encourage you to invest in something new, to read, to do research, and to associate yourself or to link or connect yourself to a community that will make you understand, or that will broaden your understanding of who you are. Let me just cite an example of what happened yesterday. I was exposed to a very challenging situation in a meeting I was chairing. Really challenging. Obviously, I saw it coming. However, yesterday, it just was unbelievable when a board member just challenged me and became very personal. However, I became very calm, but I was decisive when it came to communicating my displeasure. This was even more so because there were two people who happened to be junior in a whole board. So what was important was that I do not compromise the board in the presence of the juniors, and that at the same time, I make juniors realize how important it is for that board, for the support they give to the board to grow because of their contribution. Somehow the tension dissipated. By the end of that meeting, we were fine. I realized that I learned a lot about myself, something that would have been unimaginable before. But the calmness, the decisiveness made me feel good, because instead of allowing a meeting just to unravel because of one rogue board member, I managed to hold it together. So I learned something about myself. Yes, I have been working to know who I am. However, yesterday was something else, and I am still grateful for that. And I do say I want to improve and nurture the new me, the newfound me. So I do hope that you too are going to be learning surprising things about yourself and celebrating yourself, celebrating finding the new you. Finally, I said I will touch on relationships. Oh, relationships. Some relationships can be toxic. They can bring us down instead of building us. I've just alluded to the professional relationship I had yesterday that was very challenging. Relationships are very important. There are relationships that build us, they nurture us, they encourage us, and then there are toxic ones. And the toxic ones, just avoid. Because it's either you are in a position to manage them, however, the management of toxic relationships can be draining. I experienced that yesterday. They can be draining, deep. You just feel washed out. Do avoid those relationships. Focus on relationships that build you, that don't sap energy, positivity, and strength. That is part of knowing yourself. That is part of understanding that it's important that we navigate relationships in such a way that we do not burn the bridges, but we should be in a position to face people in a manner that makes you and I be respected for who we are. However, we should never, ever compromise who we are, the essence of who we are, the beauty, the love, the compassion, the wonder, and the power of who we are. And that is why relationships are important. So in summary, before I even wrap up this video, do remember to like it. If it resonates with you, remember to subscribe so that I continue to make videos and get this community to grow. Share them with friends. So in summary, it's important that we look at who we are, the right mind. We banish thoughts that don't serve us. We re-look at our values, and they do change as we grow, but we need to remind ourselves, we need to look quietly into ourselves during our quiet space so that we continue to be anchored and know who we are, regardless of the externalities, the friends, the spouse, partners. It's important that we know who we are and be anchored in the essence of who we are. And then finally, to protect ourselves, we are part and parcel of families, of communities, of the people we work with. It's important that we be particular about relationships and not allow toxic people to drain our energy and challenge us to be who we are not. If this video is helpful, I will be very appreciative, and I do value your time. Do share it, and I do look forward to meeting you in the next video. Remember, we've talked wealth and growing. Thank you.